All right, hey, what's going on? It is Saturday, July 3rd. Happy Independence Day weekend, everybody, because it might be the 4th of July by the time I put this video up, but I'm waiting for Chuck to show up right now, and we are going to go down to the Expanded Archery Zone and check out a spot. We got a permission to hunt a guy's land that we used to work with, actually, and he got talking to Chuck about bow hunting and was like, you guys ought to come down and check out my piece of property. And I drove by it a couple of times, and it's a nice cedar swamp, it looks like, down there, and it looks like a nice hardwood kind of ridge point that comes right down and dead ends in this big swamp, and it's a pretty big piece of woods too. Definitely looks promising, but it's kind of crappy weather out today, a little bit wet, and probably going to get wet in the woods, so I'm going to be filming on my iPhone, which I've got right now, and the GoPro. So we're going to wait for Chuck to show up, and we're going to get our stuff together. I'll probably bring 1 or 2 cameras to put out, maybe go back in like a month or so and see what's going on down there. But really excited to check this spot out. It looks like it's going to be pretty promising, so we'll see you in the woods. Well, Chuck and I made it down here, and we've walked about 50 yards into the woods, and it already looks awesome out here. Just a bunch of mixed hardwoods, hemlocks. We got a nice looking little ridge right up in front of us, and it looks like there's a swamp on the other side. I know there's a swamp down here, but we're going to try to get up to the head of the swamp where the brook runs into it, because that's usually a good spot for deer to cross, just in the edge of the actual woods. So we're going to traipse out here and see what we can see. But so far it's looking good, that's for sure. A little rub there. Looks pretty low to the ground though. Probably a little fella. When we get up to the edge of this little area that they logged, a little clearing, and down behind that is the swamp I was talking about. But right now we're kind of headed down this ridge and just more or less looking for old buck sign, rubs and old scrapes. But it looks good out here already. It drops off down in this nice little valley down here. Something's been digging over here. Some kind of a tunnel there. Well, we made it about 200 yards out, and I looked all over the place this spring for sheds, and I just happened to look down and found one. Looks like the squirrels already found it though. That's a good sign though. That's what we've been doing out here on this little ridge. Is looking at all these little trees for old rubs and stuff. Looking for some buck sign, and we just found some. But we're gonna head down through this valley. It looks like there might be another ridge up here before we dive down into the swamp. That's really where I want to get to. Because if there's any big boys in here, that's probably where they're gonna be hanging out during hunting season, so. Well, we just walked about 30 yards from where I found that shed, and some pretty good sized fresh ones right there. See if I can find any tracks. Kind of down in this old cedar swamp. Yeah, looks like they've been traveling through here. There's fresh tracks right here. Huh? Right down through there, probably right down behind that cutting. I want to get up onto this other ridge over here. Looks like it gets thick. There's an old rub. I'm surprised it doesn't have all these little popples tore right up. Oh yeah, a little one. Looks like it was a little fella. This looks like a thick, nasty mess. Nasty down here. We are finally getting onto the edge of the swamp though. It's got a tore up right here too. Oh, there's a pile of crap. I guess just skirt right back up the edge of this, huh?
Yeah, I think that's that same run that comes around from the top part we found.
Deer have been using this, dude. Look how pounded down this is. It's not a real established trail, but they've definitely been moving through here. Well, we made our way down onto the edge of the swamp where I really wanted to check out. There's quite a bit of deer sign down there, but we also found another guy's spy point camera down there, so someone's already down in on that crap, and it's really thick and nasty. It's nothing I think I want to try to sneak into in the dark first thing in the morning. So Chuck and I are making our way down the edge of the swamp here and kind of swinging back around towards where we started. Seemed like the best sign was up there, more kind of up on that ridge. So we're just trying to get out of the cedar swamp right now without getting soaked. See if we can get up on the other end of that ridge and see what's going on down there. Yeah, I would imagine. We're gonna try to get through this swampy crap and up onto this island over here. It looks like there's a little knoll or a ridge, but I think we're gonna have to go out around through this thick stuff because that looks like it's probably gonna get us wet. So we're gonna take a little detour here. Definitely gonna keep my eye out for rubs in this mess too. There we go. Little trails beating through here. Trying to get through this mess. It's an old rub. Yeah, it's looking like we probably should go that way, yeah. Nice little run down the edge of the swamp here. We got thick cedars all around us. And then ferns and wide open swamp off to our right here. Definitely looks like the deer have been cruising right down the edge of this. There's a little run going out that way. What do you think?
It looks like a good spot. You need to put a camera in.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna wait for a little more established run. They definitely have been traveling right up through the middle of this little cedar grove. This might actually not be a bad spot. Pretty good little run going right up through here. Yeah. I noticed they like those little wallows, muddy wallows this time of year. I don't know what the hell they do. Even if there's no water in it, they seem to stomp all through it. Those look like a good little hiding spot for a buck down here. Huh? From the ridge? Probably a couple 100 yards. It's just back up there through that thick stuff.
Yeah. Pushing in the afternoon.
Yeah, get down in here in the afternoon. I wouldn't want to try to sneak in here at 5 o'clock in the morning though. I don't know, we can drop a camera down here.
Doesn't hurt.
And we've got two of them with us. Yeah. You got yours, one with you, right?
You want to hang one over by that wall?
Yeah, just anywhere right on this little run right here. that looks pretty good.
Pretty decent.
You could almost maybe even go up,
You want to go? Yep.
just up to that little twig that's sticking out, just because that tree's kind of leaning this way anyway.
How's the wood from there?
Go to your left a little bit. A little bit more. Right, a little bit more, right there. Yeah, that's pointed like right at me right now, so. Clear out some of these trees out of the trail so we'll be a little more likely to cut through here. Oh, yeah, I didn't even see that on the way in. Nice rub right here on this little cedar. Ferns are all trampled down. Doesn't look like it's heavily used, but definitely looks like something a buck would want to sneak through.
Need a monster here. Monster arc
I'm gonna shoot anything in here that doesn't have spots on it.
I don't know, man. First day. Hey.
Yeah. This place just keeps getting better. I just found shed number 2, and that right there.
That's a nice one.
That isn't. It almost looks like. What side is that? No, that's definitely not the same deer.
That's awesome.
Dude,
Big
that's,
daddy with that mass.
yeah, hasn't even really been chewed on that much.
Bad.
That's a good one.
It is.
I'm getting pretty pumped about this place, dude.
Yeah. It's probably like a
Holy crap.
140-inch level. That's nice.
Well, I say we keep on cruising through this edge.
Keep following it.
Cedar Swamp is looking good. Well, Chuck and I struck off from our buddy's house, who we have permission to hunt out here from. And within a couple hundred yards, I found that first shed. And then where I just found that second shed, I just walked back out of that cedar swamp. And turns out I popped out right behind our buddy's house. So I don't think we're gonna have to go far from his backyard this fall. But we're gonna head back up onto that ridge where I found that first shed. Chuck set a camera down where I found the second shed in the cedar swamp, and we're gonna get back up on this hardwood ridge and look like a pretty good spot up there to catch him traveling through. So we're gonna go make a mock scrape and put out some Evercom and throw a camera up and probably get out of here. We've pretty much checked out what we wanted to. Definitely found enough sign to get us pretty excited to get back here in September. So we're gonna go set up another camera and maybe do a little bit more poking around, but we've pretty much seen enough, I think. That's a good one. That's probably a 4 or 5 inch cedar tree right there. Didn't beat it up too bad, but usually only bigger bucks are gonna hit trees that size. Ones like that. But we're gonna get over here up on this hardwood ridge and set another camera up. All right, so came back to basically just down over that ridge right there is where I found that first shed. So got a mock scrape going here underneath this hemlock branch. Camera on the tree. I'm gonna turn this bad boy on and we're gonna get out of here, I guess.